is a really nice React icons package. So here what I'm going to do after this, I'm going to take another div and I'm going to import logout from Lucid React. We'll pass a color property which I'll keep this one as black. Okay, and for this one I'm going to take a cursor name, class name, not cursor name. I'll do cursor pointer, and there will be another on click that will be for logout, but that we'll do later. Now we have created our header. Now let's import this header component here. So let's see what you're getting. Okay, something is breaking here, so this part we need to fix. So I think there is some mismatch with the, so we have taken flex, then we have one more div, something we have done wrong, that part we need to check. I think this one here, yes. Okay, so now this is fine. So we have a task manager, then we have a two like link, and then we have a logout button. So if you click here, it will go to the, okay, so this part also you need to fix, because every time we'll go there it is going to the task list page. So this we can fix it very easily, and this is happening because this logic is written in our context. So here we need to do some changes. So what we are going to do, right? So let's go here in the context, and this is very important, I think. So let's go to context. So you can see that we are always redirecting the user to the task list page. But here what we can do, right, simply we can simply check that if this location dot path name, if this is equal to /auth, alright, or location dot path name, if this is equal to /, in that case we are going to navigate to the task/list page, or else whatever page we are currently at, in that page only we need to be there. So how we are going to do that? So in this case we'll take a template literals and we'll use this location dot path name. So let's save it. Now let's see. If I go to the Scrum board, it's going to the Scrum board page, and now going to the task, going to the list page. But if I try to go to the auth, that time it will be going to the task list page. Correct? Awesome. So this is done. Now next we'll go to the common layout page. Now here what are we going to do, right? We need to do a couple of changes more. So now let's do one thing. Let's inspect. I think we are getting some, acha, in root we are having this padding. I think this we need to remove. So we'll remove this padding from here. Okay, and this header, I think here, right, somewhere, I think item center we are already doing. Okay, here I think we can give, for this one also we'll give height as 64. So let's go to our header. We are having container, and I'll give height as 64 here also. So now it will be in the middle. And now because this is already 64, so the main body will be 100% minus 64. Correct? So that calculation we need to do. So we'll go here, and what we'll do, right? So here I'll do height will be calculate 100% minus 64. Now here I'll do height as full, and I'll do a div, we'll do a class name inside this, and we'll do for this one also we'll give height full, we'll do flex auto, we'll do flex column px of 4, for SM we'll do px of 6, for MD also we'll do px of 6, and then we'll do py of 4, and for SM we'll do py of 6. Inside this we will take another div, we'll take a class name, and here we are going to use mx auto, we'll do container, and we'll do height full, and we'll do p of 0, and here we are going to render our outlet. So if I change, it's changing, and everything is fine. So now we need to start working on the logout functionality. But before that, first let's create our logout controller. So we'll go to our controller, and here I'm going to create another method. So I'll do const logout. This will be async. So we'll do request response. Simply we'll set res.cookie. We'll make this one token and we'll keep this one as empty, and here we'll pass the with credentials as true, and we'll do HTTPS only as false. That's it. And then we are going to return a res.status of 200.json, and we'll do success as true, and we'll do message, we'll like logout successful. Sorry everyone if you are getting noise, I can't do anything, like I'm already fed up like editing their noises, because these guys will be talking every time. So we pass this logout here, and then now what we're going to do, right, I think this is the same process again. So we'll go to our routes, and then we'll create another one, and this time I'll give this one as logout, and we're going to import the logout here. Same, not explaining all of this step by step, because this same thing we are doing every time. Okay, so this is logout. Now what we are going to do, right, now we can basically on click of that header button we are going to call that logout. But before that we also need to create our service. So we'll go here and let's create another method. So we'll export const is a call logout API. So this will be async request response, and here we'll simply do const response, will be await, and we'll do axios.post. So I'm going to copy this from here, and in this auth I'm going to pass this one as logout because that is the name, and after this we're going to again pass this empty, and then we are going to pass with credentials will be true. Alright, and same thing, return response dot data, and this is done. So now in our header component what we're going to do, right, so let's go to our header. So in this logout button we will take a one click, and this will be handle logout. So now let's create this. So we'll do async function handle logout, and here I'm going to do const response will be await. So I'm going to call logout API, and now if this response is successful, so if response dot success, if this is true, so first thing what we are going to do, right, so if you go here in the context we have this user information. So this user information we need to make it null. So in our context I'm pass a value, and I'll pass user and set user both. So I'll call this set user, and then I'm going to get it. So do const get set user from use context of task manager context, and I'll make this set user as null, and then what you need to do is simply need to navigate this user back to the auth page. So we'll do const navigate, this will be use navigate, and then just navigate to auth page. That's it. Now let's save it and let's see if this is working or not. First I'll go to the auth, I'll click on logout, it's going to the auth page. Now try to access the task list page. See, even if you go to the back it's not working, right? Awesome. So now if I go to the task scrum board page, then also it will go to the auth, and now I log in with Sangam1 because this is another user 1234556. Click on sign in, go to this page, click on logout, it's going to the auth page. Again if you go back, this is not work. Awesome job. Now I think we have completed our authentication. Now we'll start working on the task page. Alright everyone, so first we will create our backend for our task page, and then we will be integrating with the front end. So first I'll close everything because we have quite a few things to do. So first we'll start with creating the model. See, always remember that you have to first create your model. So here I'll give task.js. Okay, so now the task will be having a title of the task, description of the task, status, and then priority. Okay, status will be either it will be in to do, in progress, blocked, review, or done, and priority will be low, medium, and high, something like that. And there we need to pass another thing, and that is the user ID. User ID is nothing but means this task is created by which user. Okay, so let's say I am Sangam 1 and then there is another user Sangam 2. So now if I'm using the task, so only I will be able to see my own task, not other user task. Okay, so that is the reason. So I'll create const task schema. So here we'll be having new mongoose. So let me just do mongoose. We also need to import mongoose. So this will be require. So this will be mongoose. So this will be mongoose.schema. And here we are going to pass title, which will be string. We are also going to pass description, which will be string. We will be having a status, which will be a string. We are also going to pass user ID, means which user is adding that task, that is also will be a string. And then also will be having a priority, which will be a string. Okay, so now we'll create const task. This will be mongoose.models.task or mongoose.model task, and then we are going to pass our task schema, and then we'll do module.exports, and we are going to export the task. So this is all about our model. Now we need to start creating our controller. Okay, so let's go here, and let's now in this part I'm going to give you guys some of the homework that you can do. Okay, I'm not going to do everything, so I'll give a placeholder. It's your turn, whatever concepts that you have learned so far, so you need to basically apply those, and by that only you'll be able to understand whether you are learning those things or not, because watching this video is not going to help you. Okay, you need to practice it. So inside controllers I'm going to create a task controller.js, and here I'm going to create our controller. So we need how many? So first we need to add a new task, correct? Then we will be having to delete a task. Then we'll be having get all task by user ID, correct? And then we'll be having to edit a task. So these four things we need to do. Okay, so first we'll start with add a new task. So we'll do const add new task. This will be async. We'll be getting request, response, and here the first thing, you will be receiving all of these. So we will be receiving from front end, we'll be receiving a title, we will be receiving a description, we will be receiving a status, we will be receiving user ID, means which user is adding. We also will be receiving a priority. Okay, and this will be receiving from await request.body. Alright, so after this, now what you are going to do, right? So here you need to validate the schema. So this will be your homework. So you remember we have done in the user controller that we use joy package to validate the schema. So the same you need to do. So once we'll do that, after this we'll take a try, and then we'll take a catch. And here what we are going to do, simply we'll do console.log the error, and then we are going to return response.status will be 500.json. So we'll do success will be false, and message will be some error occurred. please try again. All right, and in this try we are going to create our new task. So we'll do newly created task, and this will be, so we need to import our model for task. So we'll do const task will be require. So we'll go to our models, then we'll need our task. So here what you're going to do, we'll do here await. So we'll do task dot create, and here we are going to pass all of this. I think, let me check, we are 2 3 4 5, yeah, that is correct. So all property you are going to pass. We'll do if this newly created task is correct, or means it is saved successfully, so we're going to return res.status. So we'll do 200.json. so we'll do success will be true, and message we are going to display that task added successfully, right? Else if there are any problem, so we are going to return this error. Okay, and let's do a 400. That's it. So this will be to adding a new task. Now we need to also get all the tasks. So total 4 we need to do. So next we are going to create 3 more. So one will be get all tasks async request response. Then I'm going to copy this, and so this will be update task, and this will be delete task, right? Solve for. Now here to get all the tasks, what we are going to do, so first we need to get our ID. Now what will be the ID? The ID will be the user ID I'm currently logged in. So for example, let's say I'm user and I have 5 tasks created. So I need to, and total there are 100 tasks. All right, so I need to only get those 5 tasks because I am the owner of those tasks. So we need to get that ID. So how we are going to get it? So we'll be getting this from, so we'll do request dot params. Okay, so from request params we'll be getting the ID. And now here we'll do const get, or we'll do extract all tasks by user ID. So this is the user ID. So we'll do await, and here we are going to do task dot find, and here we are going to pass the user ID. See, you noticed here we are passing user ID while saving a task. So we will be having the user ID, which will be nothing but this ID here. Alright, and then if we are getting this extract all task, then we are going to return res.status 200.json. So we'll do success will be true, and we're going to pass the tasks list, which will be our extract all task by user ID. Okay, if there are any problem, we are going to return the same thing. Instead of rewriting, let's copy this. I think already the video is very long, so I'm trying to do little fast. Okay, that's it. And I think we need to take also the try block. So what we're going to do, right, we'll keep this one inside try, and then we'll take a catch, and for catch also I'm going to use the same, this one. Okay, now next for this update task, what you're going to do, so let's here also we need to basically get all the information, and by the task ID we are going to implement, but let's do this one, these two later. Okay, so for now we will do module dot exports, and we'll do here add new tasks, and also we'll do get all tasks, these two. Okay, this is done. Now let's go to our routes. Now I'll go to routes, I'll create one more, and this will be my tasks routes dot js. Now let's go to this here we are going to copy both, and then instead of task user router, I'll do task router. And now we need to get this. So first I'll do const get all of these from require. So we'll go to controller / task controller. So here we need our get all tasks and add new task. Now I'll do task router dot post, correct? So this will be add. So this is to add a new task, and I'm going to pass add new task. So this will be add new task. Then I'll copy this and paste it here. Now to get, this will be get, because we need to get all tasks. Get all tasks by user ID. Okay, so here we'll do get all tasks. This is done. Now next thing what we need to do, we need to go to our index.js, and here just like we have imported this user router, we need to import our task router. So this will be from routes / task routes, and then I'm going to use this. So you're going to do app.use. So this will be /API /task, and we are going to pass this task router. And I think this is done. Alright, so now we have created main 2 API routes. Now we need to start working on the front end part. So front end also we are going to keep very simple. We will be having a button. On click of this we are going to open a dialog, and there we will be basically having the form, and then based on that we will be saving the task. Alright, so let's start working on that particular section. Alright everyone, so now let's start working on our task page. So first thing what we are going to do, right, so we will be creating another component here, and that will be common dialog component, because we are going to open the add new task form as a form of a dialog. And here let's create index.jsx. So we'll do common dialog. Alright, and here we are going to return dialog. Okay, now this will take a property, open property of prop, which will basically whenever let's say we have a button and on click of this we want to open the dialog, so this is the prop that we need to pass. So we'll give this on a show dialog, right? And then this will also take on open change. So whenever we will click on cross button or click outside of the dialog, it will automatically close that. Okay, so here what we're going to do, right, we'll do set show dialog will be false. Now these two we are going to receive from props as a prop. So we'll do show dialog and set show dialog. Inside this we will be having a dialog content. Okay, and here let's take a class name. So we are going to use sm. We'll do max w screen. Height we are going to do, let's do 450px, and we'll do overflow auto. Okay, inside this we will take dialog title, and we are going to render the title. That's it. And after this we are going to take a div, and here we will give this one, I think for now this is fine. Let's return our common form, because we need to render our form here. So we'll do common form. So here we are going to receive form controls, which will be form controls that we'll be receiving as a prop. Then we are going to receive our form data. So this will be form, which will be our form data. So we'll do form data. Also we are going to receive a handle submit, which will be handle submit. Also you are going to receive a button text, which will be button text. Okay, now here what we're going to do, let's do one thing, let's pass a static value for now. So we'll do add here. Okay, or let's keep button text only. So now here we'll receive button text, we'll receive handle submit, we'll receive form data. That's it. So this will be our simple common dialog. Now what we are going to do, right, in the task page, so let's go to our task page. Okay, I'll close everything else. Now here we will be basically creating a very simple structure. So let's remove this. Let's take a fragment, and here I'm going to take a div. Let's take a class name margin bottom of 5. Inside this I'm going to render our common button component. Okay, so here before this, because we will be having a button and on click of this we need to open the dialog, so I'm going to take a state. So do const so dialog set so dialog. This will be use state of false, and we'll do on click, and on click of this we are going to do set so dialog will be true. Okay, and also we're going to pass a button text which will be add new task. Okay, we are getting. So after this we will take another div. We'll take class name, we'll do margin top as, let's do 5, we'll do flex and flex column. Inside this I'm going to take another div, we'll do a class name, and here we are going to render our list of tasks. Okay, for now I'll keep this one like this. Now I'm going to basically render another component. Okay, so now let's do one thing. Let's go to components, and there I'm going to create one more component. Let me just go there. So we'll go to components, and here I'm going to create tasks, and I'll create another folder, and this will be add new task. And here I'm going to create index.jsx. So this will be function add new tasks. And what we are going to do right here, so we can do one thing, we can simply return the dialog here, right, the common dialog that we have created. So we'll simply return common dialog. Now this will receive some of the form controls and quite a few things, correct? So for that we will go to first our config. So here what I'll do, right, I already created some form controls, so that I'm going to paste it, and also I'll explain what exactly I've done. So you can see that I have a Scrum board options, and there I am having an ID and the label corresponding. So we have the following things. We have the to do, we have in progress, blocked, review and done, and then we are having the add new task form controls. So task will be having a title, it will have a description, it will have a status, which will be nothing but the Scrum board options. So this is the options. Then it will have a priority will be low, medium and high. Let's save it. Now let's go here. So here first I'm going to pass the form controls, which will be add new tasks form controls. So what else we need to pass? We also need to pass so dialog, set so dialog, title. So let's copy these 3. So dialog we will be receiving from props. The same for set so dialog, and title I'm going to give this one as let's give post new task. So dialog will be receiving from the parent component, and set so dialog will be receiving from the parent component. Now next thing what also we need to pass, we need to pass a button text, handle submit and form data. So button text we will do, or let's say add, handle submit we will do handle submit. So we are going to create this method here, and also we need to pass the form data. So form data what we are going to do, right, so let's go to our context, and I'm going to create another so we'll do const task form data, and this will be use form, and I'm going to pass here default values, and we'll do title as empty, we'll pass a description which will be empty. We will pass a status which also will be empty, and also we'll pass a priority which will be empty. Okay, now this task form data we will pass in our context. That's it. Now this one I'm going to receive from our context. So we'll do form task form data from use context of task manager context, and this task form data I am going to pass here. Now add new task is done, so we'll go to our main task component and I'm going to call this add new task, and we need to pass the following things. So first we'll pass the show dialog which will be show dialog. Also we're going to pass set show dialog which will be set show dialog. I think only these two. Now let's save it. Now let's see what is happening. If I click here, so okay, something is going on wrong. We have a on click. Let's see. We're getting some error. Is it? Okay, I think it was not updated. Okay, now it's coming. Yes. So we're getting title, description, status. We are getting 4, and also we are getting a priority. Awesome, right? And also we are getting an add here. So now what we need to do, whatever I'll be typing, these value I need to pass to our database to store this task information. Okay, so let's start working on that. So let's go to our this add new task. So we are already having this handle submit. So now I'm going to do a couple of things. So first I'll go to our services, and I'm going to create some more service here. So I'm going to create 4. So we'll do export const will be add new task API. So you're having request response. Then I'm going to copy this. Oh sorry, not request response, will be receiving the form data. So this will be the form data. Then I'll copy this, I'll paste it 4 times. So this will be get all task API. We don't need any data here. Then we have update task API. Then we have delete task API. 4 things we need. Now for add new task, what we're going to do, do const response, and here what we will do, right, we'll simply copy this from here, paste it. Now for this one we need to go to, so if I go to our server, right, go to index.js, we have this API/task. So we'll copy this, and then if I go to task route, so we have add new task. So this will be API/task, and then we are having add new task, correct? Then we are going to remove this, and we are going to pass the form data here. If you notice, I'm not explaining everything because I already multiple times I explained all of these concepts. Now this will become very repetitive, so you need to practice by your own. So this will be response.data. Now let's go here. So this will be our API. Now when I'll do handle submit, what I need to do, I need to call that API, correct? So I'll convert this one to async, and then I'll just do here const response will be add new task API, and here what we're going to do, right, so we will be basically passing the data. So what data we need to pass? We need to pass the task form data, correct? So this is the data that we need, not task form data, sorry, my bad. This handle submit will give us the data. So we'll do here get data, and let's do one thing, let me just comment it out and we'll see what we are getting. So we'll log here get data, save it. Now let's go to inspect console. Now add new task. So I'll give title here, title, description I'll give title, then I'll give status as let's say to do, and this one I'll give low. Now click on add. We are getting all of this, but status we are getting undefined. Okay, this part we need to check. Okay, this is not getting selected. I got it. So the reason is, I think in the common form, right, we need to pass the value property. I think value property we haven't passed. So let's go to common form, and here let's see what exactly we are doing. So in the select content we are passing, I think everything is correct only. So we have a select field.value, field.onChange, then we are having form control, select trigger, select content. So I think we haven't passed the value here, correct. In the select item we need to pass a value property also. So value property will be nothing but option item.id. So this is coming from, so if I go to our config, right, so in the config we are having this ID for each and every option. So this ID we need. Now I think this should work. So let's try to select. It's now selecting. So now let's add this one. So we're getting in progress, priority is medium. Awesome. So now I'm getting the data. Now remember one more thing, what else we need to pass. So if I go to model to the task.js, we're having title, description, status, and also we need to pass the user ID. So how we are going to get the user ID? See, user ID will be getting very simply. So we are already saving this user information in our context. So this user I'm going to pass in our context. I think we are already passing. So now let's go to our add new task. I'll close everything else and I'll get our user information, and let's log this here. So if I do title and everything, add here, see we are getting user information, and here I'll be getting this ID, correct. So what I can do simply, now I'm going to call this, I'm going to call this, and then I'm going to pass get data, and then I'm going to pass user ID, which will be our user.id, correct. Now we are going to do, so let's log this response. Okay, now let's cut it. Now let's see what is happening. So I'll do this on to do. I'll keep low title, and then I'm going to do add. Task added successfully. Awesome, right? And if you go here, we're getting add new task, payload, we are passing all of this, description, title, priority, status, and user ID, right? Now what we're going to do, once we get this information, we need to reset this form, we need to close this dialog, and also we need to get the list of updated tasks. So that is what we need to do, right? So first let's start what we'll do, we'll reset this form and then we'll close this dialog. So let's do that. So what I can do, simply you can check if this response is true. So we'll do set so dialog as false, and also I'm going to do this task form data dot reset property. So now let's refresh this page. So we'll do second task added, and then status I'm going to do in progress, priority I'll do medium. Let's add, it's closing, but now we need to fetch the list of tasks, and this is very simple. What we need to do, right, first we'll go to our services. So let's go to our services, and here in this get all task API we are going to call the task fetching the list of task API. So and that is nothing but this get all task by user ID, correct. So here what I can do, right, so let's go to our controllers. So you can see that we are getting this get all task from params. Now here we can do couple of things. So because we will be fetching this one from param, so what we can do, right, we can do couple of things. So first thing is that we'll go to our routes, and here we'll do get all task by user ID, and then we'll tell that okay, I need to pass a dynamic ID here. So I'll give this colon and give this ID, so that means this value will be dynamic. Okay, now what I'll do, go to our service, and then I'm going to copy this from here. So here I'm going to get the current user ID. So to get current user ID, and here I'm going to do, I'll paste this, it will go to API. So I'll do template literals. So I'll do go to task, and then it will go to get all task by user ID, right, and then I'm going to pass the ID. So ID is nothing but this get current user ID, that's it, and we no need to pass anything else. And also this will be we need to make this one as get, so this will be access.get. Okay, and then I'm going to return response.data. Now, so that means we are basically telling that I'll get ID property, and this ID property I'm receiving in my controllers from this request.param.id, and this ID I'm going to pass, and based on that it will give me the list of task. So this is done. Now what we're going to do, right? So let's go to our task page. Now the first thing I will do, let's go to our context one more time, and I'll create two more state here. So I'll do const loading, then I'll do set loading, and we'll do use state of false, and I'll do const tasks list set tasks list, and this will be use state of array, and this I'm going to pass. So I'll do tasks list set task list set loading and also loading. So all four we need. We'll copy this. Now let's go to our task page. I'm going to get all of this from my context, so this will be the first step. So now here this will be use context of task manager context. Now because we need to fetch the list of tasks on page load, so what we need to do, so we'll take a use effect, correct, and here I'm going to call a API. So we'll do fetch list of tasks, correct, and this will be a method. So we'll do async function fetch list of tasks, and here I'll do const response. This will be await, and then what we need to call, we need to call these services, this get all task API, right? So we'll call get all task API, and here it will receive a current user ID. So from where we'll be getting the user ID? We'll be getting from user, from context, right? So here we need to pass user.id, that's it. And now I'm going to log this response here, and let's see what you're getting. So I'll do tasks list. So let's go to our console. We're getting some error, is it? No, we are getting an object. Here we are getting two task list. Awesome, right? And here each and every task will have a ID, unique ID, title, and everything we are getting. Awesome. So now what we can do, simply we can give here set loading as true, and then once we get the response, so if response is true, so response.success is true, so we are going to do set task list will be response.data, not data or what we are having, task list we are having. So copy this, and then we'll do set loading as false. So now if I log this task list, and let's see what you're getting. So log this, we're getting two data. Refresh this. Okay, this is not on refresh, it's not working. Okay, something is happening. We are getting undefined. Okay, so it's not getting the I got it. Okay, so what we need to do, basically we need to give this user as a dependency. So that means until unless this user is present, then only we need to basically call this, and this is very, very important. So what I can do, right, so here we'll give this user as a dependency, and then we'll check if this user is not equal to null, then only we'll call this. So now let's see. So now let's refresh this. So we're getting two data. Awesome. So now this is done. So now what we're going to do, right, we are going to render all of this, but one more thing we need to do, whenever I'll add a new one, that time also I need to get updated list of task. So how we are going to do that, right? So let's do one thing. So here what I'll do, let's go to our add new tasks. I think we have done one little improvement we need to do, and that is, instead of doing this handle submit here, right, we can keep this handle submit in the parent component, and I think this will be better. So we'll cut all of this, okay, and then I'm going to paste it here in this task page. So I'll paste this here. So I'm going to import this first, and then I'm going to pass this handle submit. So let's pass this also, handle submit, as a prof here, and then I'll receive this one here. Okay, and then I'm going to pass this one here, already passing. And also don't keep any use context only, we are going to also move this one in that file only, task form data. So task form data also I'm going to get from the context, and then I'm going to pass it here, and then I'm going to receive this one here, and I'm going to remove. So these all things are not required. Awesome. So now what we'll do, right, because the reason why we move to handle submit, once the adding is successful, then only we need to again call this fetch list of task API. Okay, so that is the reason. So now once we'll submit this one, we'll call this fetch list of task again, save it. Now see what will happen if I go to inspect, and then I'll go to console. Now see, we are getting 2. I'll add one more, right? So we'll do third task, and then I'm going to add one more. So we'll do to do priority low. Now see, if I add this one, so we're getting now 3. So we're getting updated. Okay, so now we need to render all of this, and to render we are going to create a common card component so that it will be easy, so that it will be reusable. We can use that the same in the Scrum Board component also. So let's start rendering all the tasks here. Alright, so now let's render the list of tasks. So for now, first we'll go to our components, and I'll create another component here, and I'll give this one name as common card, and I'll create index.jsx. So let's give common card. So this will return the card component that we already installed from setcn, and then here we are going to use some class name. So let's give a flex. We'll give bg gray 100, flex column gap of 6. We'll do rounded 2xl, padding of 8. We'll do transition. We'll do a duration of 300. On hover we are going to do background as white. Hover we'll do shadow 2xl, and for hover we are going to do shadow gray, and we'll do 600 divided by 10, and also we are going to do cursor as pointer. Inside this we are going to use card header, and here I'm going to give a class name. So for this one we'll do padding of 0. Now here I'm going to use a div, and this will be a class name. I'll give flex, and we'll do justify as between. And here I'm going to render the title of that card. So I'll see if the title is present in the props, then only I'll render card title, and here I'm going to pass title, or else what we're going to do, right, we'll simply render null. Now here I'll use a class name, so we'll do template literals, and here I'll do text 2xl, we'll do max w250px, we'll do text ellipsis, we'll do overflow hidden, we'll do white space no wrap, we'll do font semi bold, and we'll do text gray 950. Now here what also you're going to do, we'll see like if we want to add any extra styles, extra text styles, so we are going to add those. Okay, or else this will be empty. This is all about the card title. Now after this what you're going to do, so here we are going to render that if there is a right content or not on the right side. So if there is a right content, we are going to render the right content, or else this will be null. Okay, so after this we will check if there is any description for that card. If there is a description, we are going to render card description, and we'll render the description, or else this will be null. So we'll do class name. So here we'll do margin top of 3 and we'll do text gray 600. Alright, and after this we are going to render our content. So we'll do check if there is a content. So render the card content and we'll render the content, or else this will be null. For this one also let's keep the padding as 0. And after this we are going to also render a card footer and we are going to render a footer content, and we also take the padding as 0 for this one. So now all of this we need to get from the prop. So first we'll get the title, we'll get description, we'll get extra text style, we'll get footer content, we'll get main content. What else we are having? Header right content, and also receive if there is any header right content or not. That's it. So now this is done. Now what are we going to do? So let's go to our task page, and here we are already getting the list of tasks. So what we'll do, simply first we'll render here that if the loading is true, so we are going to return skeleton. I think we need to install skeleton from setcn. Okay, let's do that. Alright, so we are going to copy this. Let's open one more terminal, go to client folder and paste this one. So before this we are going to render the list of tasks here, right? So I'll give this one as grid. For MD we are going to, for MD we are going to do grid columns of 2. For large we'll do grid columns of 3, and for Excel we are going to do grid columns of 4, and we'll do gap of 4. Okay, so now I think this is done. So we'll import the skeleton, and here we are going to give some style. So we'll give a class name. So I'm going to give W as full, we'll do height as, let's do 550px, we'll do rounded 6px, we'll do BG as black, and we'll do opacity as 50. Okay, and here inside this we are going to render the list of tasks. So we'll do if this task list dot length, if this is greater than 0, so I'm going to render the task, or else I'll render nothing. Or let's render h1 and we'll do no tasks added, please add 1. So here I'm going to log this, map this. So we'll do task list dot map, so we'll do task item, and here what we're going to do, right? So we can basically create one more item where we'll be we'll be rendering the single task item, right? So what we'll do, right, we'll go to our components folder, and there we are having a task folder. Inside this I'll create one more, and I'll give this one name as task item. So these two render the single task item. So I'll do index.jsx, and this will be task item. Okay, and what this will return, so this will simply return in the common card component that you have created, correct? And also it will receive the item. Okay, so now I'm going to call this task item, and I'll pass the item which will be task item. And here in this item now we need to pass couple of things. So first we need to pass the title, which will be item.title. We need to pass the content, also you need to pass the description. So description will be, first I'll do item.status, then we're going to change this. I'll show you what exactly we are doing. And I think what else we can do, we can also pass a footer content, right? So we'll do footer content, and here I'll take a div. So we need to have two buttons, one will be edit button and one will be delete button. So we'll do flex w full, we'll do justify between, and item center. And here I'm going to call, we're going to call common button, and we'll do button text. So this will be edit, and I'm going to copy one more time, and this will be delete. Let's save it. Let's see what is happening. Awesome. So okay, this one we are getting item.status in the mid. So let's go to the common card. So let's see why this is happening. Okay, so yeah, we are having this one. So let's do one thing. I think we can do text align left. I think this will not work. Let's do one thing. I'll take one more div and we'll cut it from here, paste it, and I'll do a class name and do flex, and we'll do flex start. Sorry, you need to do justify start. Okay, now we are getting here. So we have all of this. Now I'll try to add one more task. So new task added. So here I'll do to do. This will be low. Let's add new task added. Refresh this. So you're getting right. Alright everyone, so now the fetching is done. So let's start working on the delete functionality. So first I'm going to write the API side code. So what we're going to do, right, every time we'll click on this delete, I'm going to pass this ID of this task. So what I'll do, we'll copy this, the same logic that we need the ID, and I'll pass here, and then we'll do try catch, and here what we'll do, we'll simply return the same thing. Okay, and here I'll do if this ID is not present, so we will return another error. So I'll copy this and we'll do anything 400, and we'll do like ID, task ID is required. So if this is done, after this we are going to delete. So we'll do const delete task, and this will be await. So this will be task dot find by ID and delete, and here we are going to pass the ID. Okay, so here we'll do if this delete task is true, that means we are going to return res dot status 200.json, and we'll do success is true, and we'll do message is like task deleted successfully. Okay, else what we'll do, we'll simply return the error. So we'll copy this and we'll paste it here. Okay, and I think this is fine. Now let's do one thing. Let's pass it here, this delete task. So we created our controller. Now I am going to go to our routes, and then I'm going to first import it, delete task, and I will create one more. So here I'll do const, this will be delete, and here I'll be having delete task, and I'll be passing the ID. ID is nothing but the each and every task ID. Save it. Now next step, we have to go to our services. So go to services, and here what we're going to do, right, I'll copy the same thing again instead of rewriting. For the delete task, we will be receiving the get current task ID, not user ID. So we're getting get current task ID. All right, now what we're going to do, right, here we are having get all task by user ID. So let me see that name. So we'll copy this and we'll pass it here, and this will be get current task ID, and this will be axios.delete, and everything is fine. Now let's save it. Now what we're going to do, right, so let's go to our app side. So here in this task item, what we are going to do, we will be basically having this delete button, right? So let's go to our task page, and I'm going to create one more method here. Okay, so I'll create async function, do handle delete, we'll get the ID, get task ID. Okay, and this handle delete I'm going to pass as a prop to this task item component. Okay, save it. Now go to task item, we'll receive this one, and now on this delete button what we'll do, right, we'll do one click. So this will call this handle delete, and we are going to pass this item dot id, right? So this is the id that we need. So if I now go here, right, and let's say log this get task id, and let's see what is happening. So do log get task id, save it. Okay, let's log this now. Let's see what we are getting. So go here, let's go to console, and let's say delete this one. So you're getting id, delete, we are getting id. Okay, so now what you can do, simply we'll do const response, and we'll do await delete task API, and we are going to pass this get task id, right? And if this response dot success, if this is true, so what we'll do, we will simply call the fetch list of task API. The reason is because if this is deleted, we are having currently 4, if I delete this one, there should be only 3, right? So let's save it and let's see what is happening. So now I'll try to delete this one. Okay, we are getting some error, sorry. Let's see what is happening. So we'll click here delete. We are getting 200, but it's not getting response. What we are getting, success true. Okay, we are getting delete task, success true, task list. I think something is going on wrong here, so this we need to check. Okay, I got it. In the services, I think we are doing something wrong, is it? So we are having API delete task. Okay, but this is correct only. Let's see. So we'll go to our task routes. See, here we need to pass delete task. That is the reason. Okay, now let's see. So now I think that's first I'll refresh. I think that should be 4. Now I'll try to delete. Deleted, delete, deleted. We are getting only 2. Deleted, and let's delete this one also. We are getting no task added. So now I'll add new one, some random value. Add it. Awesome. So now delete is done. So now let's start working on the edit. Now for edit we need to do a couple of things. First, when I'll edit, I think now I no need to explain because we have done multiple these kind of apps in the previous video. So first we need to store this current edited ID. Alright, so which item we are editing. Then we need to open this form with the pre-populated values. Correct? Very, very important. Also need to change this to edit. And then once I'll submit, I need to edit the respective task. So first we'll complete the server side code. So let's go to our controller first, and then here what I'm going to do, right? So let's go to our update. So here we are having update. So here what we'll do, right, we'll be receiving all of these. So we'll be receiving title, description. We're also going to receive status, priority. We also receive user ID and also the ID of that task, and this will be receiving from await request.body. Okay, and now what we are going to do, right, first I'll simply do, let's do a try catch, and I'll just return the same thing here, and here I'm going to do const update task. So this will be await task dot find by ID and update. Okay, so here what we are going to do, we will be basically passing the ID. So based on this ID I want to update. Then I'm going to pass the title, the description. Also you're going to pass the status, priority, and also the user ID. Okay, and then we'll pass another property, and that will be new is true. So this will update the task. Okay, so if this is done, so that means if this is true, so we'll do update task, and then we are going to return a response, success response. So we'll do 200. So we'll do 200, and here I'll do a message that task updated successfully. okay, else I'm going to return a error. That's it. So now I'm going to pass this, so we'll do update task. So now let's go to task routes and then we'll do update task, and here I'm going to do this one as put. Okay, so this will be update task. Now here what we are going to do, right, because we will be basically passing all of these, so no need to pass any value here, and here we'll do update task, and this is done. So now let's go to our services, and I'll just copy this, and here we are going to do update task. We no need to pass any extra params here, right, and this will be access dot put. Also we need to pass the form data, and then we are going to return the response dot data. So this is all about the services are done. Now we need to start working on the client side. So if I click on edit, I need to open the model. Also I need to pre-populate the values. Okay, so let's say how we are going to do that. So first thing is that in this task I'm going to create another method. Not method is required. First we need to do a couple of things. Let's go to this task item, and here we are going to pass it prop. I'll close everything. Let's go to this item, task item, and I'm going to receive this set so dialog as a prop in this component, and I'll show you why. So we are going to pass this set so item in this task item as a prop, and then once I'll click on this edit button, so I'll take on click here, and here I'll do set so dialog will be true. Let's save it. Now see what will happen. That means if I click here, I'm opening this. Now once I'll click on this edit, one more thing what we need to do, we need to basically store the current edited the ID, and that is very important. So what we're going to do, right, so let's go to our context, and we'll take one more state here. So we'll do const current edited ID set current edited ID will be use state of null, and these both we are going to pass in our context. Now let's go to our task. Now these both we will be receiving from our context, and then I'm going to pass this set current edited ID as a prop to this task item component. So I'll pass this one as a prop, and I'll go to task item, I'll receive this as a prop, and then I'm going to do one more thing, that set current edited ID will be item.id. That means every time I'll click on this edit button, I'm going to store this ID, that which item or which task I'm currently editing. Okay, and one more thing what we need to do, we also need to pass the task form data. So we'll pass task form data will be task form data. So we'll get this, because once I'll click on edit, I also need to pre-populate all the values. So this I'll be getting here, task form data. And now what we can do, right, simply we can do task form data dot set value, and here we need to give title. So title will be item dot title. Okay, so we'll copy and paste 4 times. You can also do some for each or something, but I'll keep it like this. Description, and then I'll do status, and I'll do priority. So this will be item dot priority, this will be item dot status, and this will be item dot description. Okay, now let's see what is happening. If I click on edit, see we are getting all the pre-populated values, right? So this is in progress, this is the values, and this is low. Now once I'll do, okay, one more thing, once this current edited ID is present, we need to make this one from add. I think add we can keep. We need to do edit task instead of post new task. How we are going to do that? So that is pretty simple. So let's do one thing. Let's go to our task. So we're passing this add new task, right? So here we can do, if this current edited ID is not equal to null, so in that case we'll do edit task, or we'll do add new task. So now we are getting, okay, sorry, not here. I think this we have done in the button, so I'll undo this one and we'll make this one where we need to do it in this dialog. So we are having title post new task here. So here I'm going to pass this current edited ID as a prop, right? And then we'll receive this one as a prop, and then I'll do, if this current edited ID is, then I'll do edit task or I'll do post new task. Now this will work. So I'll do edit here, so getting edit task and all the data is getting populated. Let's say I'll add one more new task. Okay, and once I'll close this one, that time also we need to reset this, and this is very important. So that we can do very easily. So what we can do, right, in this we are having this on open change, right, in this common dialog. So here I'm going to pass this on open change, and this is very important. So this I'm going to pass instead of this set so dialog. Okay, now from where we are calling this, from this add new task. So I will do on open change. So I'll do two things here. So first I'll do set so dialog will be this will be false, and also we need to do one more thing, and that is we need to check if this current edited ID is not null. So if current edited ID is true, so in that case what we'll do, right, we need to also reset this form data. So we'll do task form data dot reset, or else we'll do nothing. So now let's see what is happening. So if I click on site, add new task, it's getting resetted. If I click on edit, this time it's coming. Now if I click on close and open one more time, you can see it's getting resetted. But these also we need to do. So this edit task is not getting changed. The reason is because we need to make this set current edited ID as, so this also we need to pass. So we'll pass this set current edited ID here as a prop in this add new task. Save it, and now we'll be receiving this one also, and then I'm also going to do set current edited ID as null. Save it. Now let's see, if I click on edit, we are getting edit task. Click outside and click on here, we are now getting post new task. Awesome. So now everything is done. So what you're going to do, right, in this handle submit where we are adding a new task, so instead of calling add new API task API, when we will be doing edit, we need to call the edit API. But how we are going to do that, and this logic also you have done, we will be able to easily check it using this current edited ID. So if this is not null, so in that case what we are going to do, we will be calling the edit call API. So we'll do, what is the name of that service that we have given? So we'll go to services, update task API, not editor. So we'll do update task API. So we'll do update task API, and here we need to pass the form data. So what we'll do, right, so here we are going to, so here we need to pass the data. So data will be your get data, right? We also need to pass the ID. So ID will be current edited ID, and also you need to pass the user ID, which will be nothing but your user.id. Okay, these three things we need to do. And if this is successful, that time again what we'll do, we'll do set current edited ID as null. That means the edit is successful, so that time we'll again make this one as null. So let's see what is happening. So I'll try to edit this one, and let's say I'll give my name, and let's say I'll do add, getting changed to this one, right? Now I'll do new one added, new added. So I'll add, let's do this one to do, and priority low, add, we're getting new added. Click on edit, so I'll do edited, and I'll do this one also edited, and let's add, so it's now edited. Refresh this, we are getting only 2. All right, log out, and now see, I log in with this, I'll do sign in, we are getting 2. But if I sign in with a different account, let's say I'll do Sangam1, so this user don't have any task added. So if I go do sign in, I think this is a wrong user, so I'll give this one. So I'll do sign in, so you can see we are getting no task added because this user don't have any task added. But I will add this one, so task added by Sangam1, paste it, status will give to do this one, add, so you're getting only one task. Now I'll log out and I'll add Sangam. I'll sign in, so you're getting only 2, but if I now sign in with Sangam 1, that time we'll be getting only 1. Okay, and this is working fine. So now the task page is done. So now let's start working on the Scrum board page. So Scrum board will be pretty simple. What we're going to do, right, whatever task I will be adding there, so those tasks I will be able to see in my board or Scrum board, and then I'll be able to move it from to do to in progress to blocked, from block to review, and review to done, and we will be able to drag and drop. But one very interesting is that we are not going to use any third-party library package, so we are going to use normal HTML5 drag and drop API, and let's see how we are going to do that, because I think that will be very helpful for your interview purposes also. So sometimes we'll get this kind of questions that implement drag and drop without using any third-party library package. Okay, so that is the reason I decided not to use any other library packages for that. So let's start working on that part. Alright everyone, so let's start working on the Scrum board page. So the first thing what we are going to do, right, in this page we will be basically rendering the list of tasks that is added by the user. Okay, so that is the first thing what we are going to do. So let's go to this page, and then here first we will take a use effect, and here what we are going to do, we will be fetching the list of tasks. So to fetch list of tasks here, and for this one I think I'm not going to write, I think we already have. Now again here everyone, I'm repeating, see, please don't think like if you are actually in this point or you almost complete a lot of things, that I've showed you multiple ways you can do that. So let's say instead of rewriting this logic in both the components, what you can do, you can create a custom hook and then you can use the same logic, right? Those concepts also I've discussed. So it's not like I'm not doing like that. So this is the best approach. Again, you can also use some custom hooks, and also you can use hooks like SWR. Okay, but here I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to copy this and I'll use the same here. So I'll paste it. So fetch list of tasks, and I'm going to get, so we'll get our user, and also we'll do set task list from our context, these both. Okay, and this will be from use context of task manager context. So this is the first step. So now we need to also keep the user as a dependency, and we'll do if user not equal to null, that time we'll be fetching the list of tasks. So now here we'll be getting the list of tasks. Now what we are going to do, right, we need to have different sections. So we'll be having a to do section, then we'll be having in progress section, then we will be having a blocked section, for example, or review, then we'll be having review or blocked section, and at then we'll be having a done section. Each and every will be a block. So first I'm going to create this block. So first I'll cut it from here, and let's take a fragment, and here what we're going to do, right, we'll take a div and we'll take a class name, and we'll do grid columns of 5, and we'll do gap of 2, and we'll do height as full. Inside this, see, remember we already have these Scrum board options, so these we are going to map. Alright, and this will give me an item, and here what we are going to do, right, we'll return a div. So we'll keep key as item dot id, and inside this div, right, I'm going to take another div, and we'll take a class name. So what we're going to do, right, here we'll do px of 1, py of 3, we'll do text center, we'll do bg as black, we'll do border none, and we'll do mb of 3. For this main div here we are going to also take a class name, so we'll do border, we'll do border this color. Okay, and then also we're going to do rounded, and we'll do overflow auto. So you can see that we are getting 5 sections. Now for each and every section we are going to render our label. So we'll take a h3 and we'll do item dot label. Okay, and also you need to give some class name. So here we'll do text to excel font extra bold, and we'll do text as white. So we're getting to do, in progress, blocked, review, and done. Now what we need to do, right? Now we need to render the to do item. So we'll take a div, and what we're going to do, right? We'll create a function. So we'll do render to do by status. Now here we need to basically do step by step. And now we are going to render it based on what? Based on ID. So ID is nothing but, for this one the ID is to do, for this one it is in progress, for this one it is blocked. So for each and every to do, and how we are going to get that, we will be getting this one from this to do from this to do status, or basically task status, that will be having from here. Okay, so here we will be basically filtering based on the ID, so which will be item.id. okay. Alright, so now what we are going to do, right, for each and every category we are going to basically render the task. So if there are, let's say, 10 tasks, correct, and then 5 of them are in to do state, so we will be having 5 here, something like that. So to do this one, what we are going to do, right, we'll take another div here, and I'm going to create a method, and this will be render task by task status, and we need to filter it based on the ID. So we'll do item.id off. Okay, we are going to see what exactly we'll do. We'll give a class name of padding of 3. So now let's create this function. So we'll do function this. Now here the first thing what we'll do, right, we will take that all the status. So we'll do task statuses, and here we will take all the ID. So we are having to do as a status, and first time we will be having empty, then we will take in progress, which will be having empty, then we will be having a blocked, empty, then we'll be having review, which will be also empty, and then we'll be having done, which will be also empty for the first time. Now these all are nothing but, if I go to the Scrum board options, you'll see these all are the keys, the ID. So to do, in progress, blocked, review, and done. So now we have these task statuses. So now what we will do, right, so we already have our task list. So here what I'll do, I'll simply do task list, right, dot for each. So we'll do task item. Now here what we are going to do, simply, so we'll take these task statuses. Alright, now this task item will be having a status. Now what status is that? Basically this status is nothing but this status that we are having, right? So we'll do task statuses of task item dot status. So task items of status, if it is to do, so task statuses of to do will be this part where we will be pushing that task. If it is in progress, it will be coming here, then we will be pushing in this array. If it is blocked, we'll be pushing here, review, and then done. Okay, this is exactly what you are doing. Now here we are going to do dot push, and what exactly we are going to push, we'll be pushing a div element, and here we will be rendering our common card. First we are going to implement the structure, so we'll do common card, and here we need to pass our title. So what will be title? So title will be our task item dot title, then we will be having description, so we'll do task item dot status. Alright, and I think that's it. So now let's save it and let's see what we are getting. So if I save here, okay, we are getting some error. Let's see, task list dot, oh my god, this will be for each. Still we are getting error. Okay, let's see what is the error. Cannot read property of to do of undefined. Okay, item dot id. Okay, so here it is giving some error. I think we are not returning our task statuses. So here we need to also return it. So we'll return this. So now we are getting this, but we are not getting any data here. So let's log this task statuses and let's see what we're getting. Save it. we are getting set loading is not defined. Okay, here we are getting, okay, let me just remove this for now. Okay, we also need to import this. And what else we are getting? We are getting 1. I think we should be getting 1. Yeah, so here we are getting 1 to do. Okay, this is fine. First, now we'll go to a task and I'll add one more. So we'll do new task, and for this one I'll be keeping this on status as in progress and keeping medium. Let's add this added. Now if I go to Scrum board, we are having 1 in progress. Okay, now we are getting. So now what we need to do, right, we need to start working on the drag and drop. Now to implement drag and drop, first what we need to do, we need to basically use in the main wrapper. So this is our main individual to do item. This is the div. So here I'm going to take on drop. Okay, so here what we are going to do, so this will give me an event, and I'm going to create an on drop method, and I'm going to pass the event and also the item.id. Item.id is nothing but the status ID. So if it is to do, it will be to do in progress blocked, something like that. Okay, and then there will be one more that will be on drag over. Okay, so here also what we'll do, simply we'll take a event and we'll do event.prevent default. So now let's create this on drop method. So we'll create here, so we'll do function on drop. Okay, now for this on drop, what we are going to do, first we'll be getting our event and also we'll be getting get current status, right? And now for this individual item, for this individual task item that we are having here, for this one also we need to add one more property, and that is draggable. So if you don't add the draggable property, you will not be able to drag these items. So to add that one, what we can do, right, so we are having this where is that render to do items here. So in this, where we are pushing this item, so in this div I'm going to add a draggable. So what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to check that if for this done, once you'll move any task to done state, you will not be able to drag that. So that condition I'm going to add. So for draggable, what I'll do, I'll check this task item dot status. If this is not equal to done, then only you'll be able to do it. So then only I'll make this one true, or else this will be false. So this will be draggable, and then I'll do on drag start. So once I'll start this, then what we're going to do, again I will do if this is task item dot status, if this is not equal to done, then only I will do event, and then I'm going to just do on drag start, one more method, and I'm going to pass the event and the task item dot id, that which item I'm basically dragging. And if it is in already done, then we are not going to do that. So I'm going to create on drag start. Okay, so when I will do on drag start, this will be pretty simple. So I'll create this method here. So I'll do function on drag start. This will get the event and it will get the get task ID. Okay, and now what I'll do, simply let me move this on drop also on top. So here when I will just do drag start, so this will basically give me one property, data transfer. So if I log this here, right, event, so if I do drag start, see there is a event that we are getting, right? So this will give me event dot data item, data transfer, and then we will be basically able to set data. So we'll just do event dot data transfer, and here we are going to do set data, and I'm going to pass here a ID which will be the get task ID. Okay, so on drag start we are going to set this property attribute, and once drag over, then that time what we are going to do, first we are going to get this ID from this data transfer. So how we are going to get that? So do const get draggable dragged task ID, that which we are currently dragging. So in that case what we'll do event dot data transfer dot get data, and here we'll be getting based on this ID. So this is the ID. So here we'll be getting the ID of the task, And then what we need to do, we need to find the current task. Let's say in this part we are having 10 tasks, right? So we need to get the current task, which task we are currently dragging, something like that. So we'll do let find current task, and this will be, so we are having task list dot find, so this will be item. And how we are going to check that? So we'll do item dot id dot toString. So this will be equal to this get draggable task id, correct? And here now what we are going to do, we'll do find current task, and here we will do like, so we'll destructure the find current task, and then we'll update the status. So status will be get current status. Now I'm going to again explain what we have done. So for example, let's say first I'm start dragging this item from to do to in progress. So once I'll do on drop, that means when I'm dropping this one into in progress, I'll be getting this get current status, correct? So what I'm trying to do, so I'm finding this task and then I'm changing the status to the current status. So for example, let's say if the previous one was in to do and I'm moving this one to in progress, so I'm changing the status from to do to in progress, okay? And then what we're going to do, we'll do update task by status. So we're going to call this method and we're going to pass this find current task, okay? And then what we're going to do, we'll simply, so here we'll create this method. So we'll do async function, and here I will do this update task by status. So this will get the task, and then I'll do simply, so here what we can do, right, we can simply call the update task. So we'll do await update task API, and here we'll be getting get task, and also we are going to basically call the fetch list of products or list of tasks. So means when I'll be moving this one from to do to in progress, that time I need to update this one as well as I need to show this to do in the in progress. So these both the API call we need to do. Now let's save it. Now let's see what is happening. So try to move this one here. It's moving right here. Now we are having only 2 in progress. Refresh this page. So we're getting 2. Let's move this on to blocked. It's going to the blocked, and if I go to network, and if you see that what is happening, so I'll move this on from block to review, and that time you notice we are first calling the update task, and there we are updating this status as review, and then again we are calling the list of tasks. This is exactly what we are doing. So move this one, and now once I'll do to done, right, now you'll see you'll not be able to drag it, correct? And also let's do some styling so that user will be able to understand that this is now in done state. So how we can do that? So we remember we have passed this extra style text styles. So here we'll do if this is in done. So if this is in done state, right, so what we can do, we'll pass a underline, or else this will be empty. Save it. Not underline, I think that will be line through. See, fine, right? So now I'll move this on directly to done. So it's in done state now. And also let's give some this, what we can do, right, we'll give some class here. So let's give a margin bottom of, let's say 4 or 2. So we'll be getting some. Now this is done. Now one more thing, let's go to tasks. Also notice this is also getting changed. Now one more thing we need to do, we need to change this one to label, not the ID. So to do that, we'll go to our add new tasks, task item. So we'll go to task and then task item, and here we are rendering this description, right? This description will be, so what we can do, right, simply, so this will be Scrum board. We are having these Scrum board options, right? So here what we can do, simply we can first find, so do dot find item, we'll do board option. So we'll do board option dot id. If this is equal to this item dot status, then we are going to render the label here. So means we are basically checking that which is that. So based on that we are updating these two done. So now I'll do add a new one, task 1 2 3, and we'll do to do priority low, add. So now this will be in to do. Go to Scrum board, there is a to do. Let's move this on to blocked. Go to task. Now this is getting changed to blocked, right? Same thing we can do here also. So let's go to Scrum board, and then here we are passing this, right, this description. So you can do the same logic here also. Copy this, and in this we will pass that, and instead of this item, this will be task item. It's getting changed, so you'll be able to move all of this, right? And even if you refresh this page, you'll be getting the same data. All right, now I'll do logout. Let's say I'll go to Sangam, go this. So now we are getting this. Go to Scrum board. We'll be getting one in progress, one is in to do, and you'll be able to move all of this, and this will work. Let's log out. Try to access the task page. It's going to this page. Try to access the Scrum board page. It's going to the same page. Awesome. And also now let's say if I do Sangam 1, it's coming. Let's go to sign up. I'll do Sangam 2. I'll add a new user. I'll do sangam2@gmail.com. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Sign up. So you don't have any task. Here also you don't have any task, and I think everything is working fine. Let's log out, and now let's go back. So it's not going, it's going still in the auth page. Alright everyone, so with this we have completed almost the video, and I hope that you learned a lot of things. We covered a lot of points, although I know that we haven't discussed in details each and every topic, but this video is just to I created in such a way that it will be helpful for beginners like you. But I will definitely create some more advanced courses also on React coming in coming videos, and also I will be definitely create another video using React where I will be creating all the projects using TypeScript. So if you like this particular video, please give a like, comment down, and please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, good luck and peace.